Hi, third graders. The selection that you'll be reading in Wonders this week is called Big Ideas in Nature. And just like last week, this passage is an expository text. That is the genre. And remember, I told you last week that another word for expository text is informational text, or another word that you commonly hear is nonfiction. It means that it is a passage that is going to give you facts and information about a topic. Those facts and information are going to be true. And very often, when you're reading expository text, you will see a number of text features, which again, we talked about earlier in the year this year, but let me jog your memory. Text features are things like photographs, illustrations, captions, diagrams, maps, bold words. And this week, I'd like you to focus on the meaning of a diagram and a caption. A diagram is a picture that gives more information about the text, and it labels the parts of the diagram. So in this example here, you would see this bat, and it's going to label the bat, and it's going to label what this line is here. It's going to label things in a diagram. And then a caption goes along with a picture. A caption tells about a photograph or a diagram. It gives you information about what you're looking at. And that can be below it or above it. Sometimes it's next to it on the side. So those are some examples of text features that we talked about earlier in the year. All right, so we are going to be working again this week with identifying main idea and details. You did this last week. We're going to do it again for a little bit more practice. So I'm going to do an example with you from the passage. This is on page 266. It's this little paragraph on the page called Working Together. It says, birds fly in flocks. Fish swim in schools. They do this without hitting one another. Cars move in large groups too, but they often crash. Today, car designers are learning from locusts. They study how the insects travel together safely. One day, you might drive a car that sees the cars around it. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Okay, so we're going to go up here to I am going to go up here to my main idea and detail page. You'll be given a page like this too, to do your main idea in detail. And remember last week, I told you to identify the details first and then see how they're related. What do they all have in common so that you can determine the main idea? So let's talk about what the details were in the paragraph that we just read. So I can identify that the details in the paragraph I just read are the following. 1, birds fly in flocks. 2, fish swim in schools. And 3, cars move in large groups. So I can ask myself, what are all of these details talking about? What do they have in common? How can I put this together into one main idea of the paragraph? So what I can say is this. Things often work together in groups to help each other. I can feel confident this is the main idea because number one, I can look at the heading, and the heading of this paragraph in blue letters said working together. So I know that all of the things in the paragraph have something to do with working together. And I know from these details about birds and fish and cars that they are all things that are working together in a group in order to help each other. So I can feel confident that that is the main idea of the passage. You are going to get a document in your assignment that looks just like this, but it will be blank, and it will ask you what the main idea is and what the 3 details are for a different paragraph in the passage this week. Be sure to follow the directions so that you know what page number to look at, and make sure that when you have typed your answer on the document that you click Turn In. Do your best. Thank you.